All right, welcome to Sports Radio. We got a full MLB slate of games today and more MLB and NHL playoffs going tonight. We're going to break it all down. Join in, baby.
Yeah, I'm so fresh like the morning. Mouth wide open like they yawning. Every time they see me, they in G-Stride. Homie, this is too far. Homie, I feel too alive. You can see me like Illuminati. You can see me like Illuminati. But I'm trying to...
All right, welcome to Pub Sports Radio. Today is Friday, May 1st. We've had some good shows this week. Today, I am a little bit. I had unexpected things I had to take care of today, so I probably won't be giving that many picks. I was not able to do my deeper looks into a lot of the stuff today, but we will talk about it. We'll look at the market moves and everything, and we'll have a good time. We'll definitely tweet this out. Hold on one second. Give me one moment, and I'm going to tweet this out. One second. There we go. Shout out to everyone in the comment section. It was a very unexpectedly busy day for me, so a little bit behind on everything. There we go. Let's move that over. I got to get all my notes and shit into the comment section here. Wine Time Sports. All right. AM. Okay. All right. JAM Sports. Wine Time. Super true story. All right. I'm glad I have all you guys here today because, again, I am my research. I just had unexpected stuff today. So I was not able to do my usual deep dive, which I do have to do if I want to, do things at the level that I expect of myself in terms of handicapping and predictions and calls on lines. All right. We do have a big card and we got a full slate of games. We got everything going. Want to make sure everything's good here as far as the audio is concerned. And we ready? Hold on. Let me see there. Sure, I got everything here. Shout out JAM Sports. Okay. Jim Dewigger. And let's start. All right, MLB. First game on the card is Texas and Detroit. Gore and Flaherty. It's going to be in the 40s here. Texas slumping, not hitting. Now they head out on the road. Detroit back from a 6-game trip. They lost 4 out of those 6. Detroit was a small favorite here, a relatively low total, which all makes a lot of sense. Gore is the same as he always is. So far this year, decent, not lights out, but good. Gets a lot of Ks, but has walks issues. And Flaherty having serious walk issues, and he is off of a bad start at Cincinnati. So again, Gore's strikeout prop, I guess, maybe a little bit low because even when he has bad starts, he tends to get high strikeout numbers. But Detroit, they don't really strike out that much at home, so that kind of evens things out. I definitely didn't bet that one. But anytime you see a 5.5 strikeout line with Gore, unless he's injured, you might think that seems a little bit low. Detroit was a small favorite, and the total opened at 8 at Chris. JAM Sports says, I'm thinking Tigers here, okay, as a small home favorite. Yeah, I mean, Texas, slumping, not hitting. They're not great, but they could get a little boost heading now out on the road and going up against a guy who is having, legit control issues with Flaherty. Let's see where the market has moved on this one. This is a game where a show where I'm going to lean on market stuff here to tell me what to make. Yeah, okay. So about an 8 or 10 cent move at Chris from opening towards Texas, which I get. It's the line. The game seemed a little coin flippy to me, so I was like, yeah, why would I not take the dog unless why not? So there has been mostly bouncing around, but overall, a small move towards Texas overall at Chris and in the market, and the total has not much, almost nothing. Bouncing around. It actually dropped down to 7.5 earlier in the morning, and then it came back up to 8. 7.5 juiced mostly to the over. So it bounced around. The late money though has come back on the over. Now it's up to right where it opened, 8, kind of even on both sides. So yeah, nothing for me. Definitely going to pass on this one, and nothing really the market is liking as of right now. Shout out Nuke Worker and Spoons Bets. Spoons Bets, man. Spoons, I'm today I'm really I had unexpected stuff, so my research is only half done on this one. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to give a lot of stuff where I can really stand behind it, except for Woods Richardson under strikeouts. That I can get behind. Everything else though is going to be a little bit iffy. I'm liking the Rangers Tigers under and the over, and he got 7.5. Very nice. Okay, so AM looking for a middle there. Yeah, there's not much wind. Yeah, I'm seeing just a very very tiny wind blowing out, but also it's going to be in the mid 40s, and two starters with walks issues, which means that if they both come in and control their walks issues, you're going to get an under. If they don't, you're going to get an over. So a total pass for me. And let's move on. Next one is Cincinnati and Pittsburgh. Singer and Mitch Keller. There's some rain here. The game might be delayed to start, but from what I saw, it should. The full game should get in there. Cincinnati obviously playing well. Now they head back on the road. Pittsburgh just got swept by St. Louis, who's kind of a salty heading into that series, though. Pittsburgh's now lost 5 in a row. Keller has been better. Singer pretty iffy overall right now. So, I'd give a small team edge to Cincinnati, small starting pitching edge to Keller. I'm not going to take a shot with the Keller outs prop because of the rain, but statistically, I would have a lean to Keller over 16.5 outs at like minus 130 or so. Rain changes things, I think, a little bit. Let's look at where the market has moved, if it has moved at all. Let's see. Yeah, again, almost nothing. Just your basic tiny bouncing around at Chris, but nothing notable as far as an overall market move from opening. And the total, has dropped almost a half run, which does make sense, I guess. It's going to be in the mid 50s here. Singer's kind of iffy overall, but he's not terrible, I guess. And Keller has been better. So I understand that. Again, this is going to be a pass for me. If I had looked into this more deeply, I might have pulled the trigger on. So, oh, wow. Spoons Bets has posted his entire MLB card. Let me copy and paste this. Spoons Bets. Yeah. All right. Let's see. So Spoons Bets. We got it. And yep, that's it for Cincinnati, Pittsburgh. Now let's move on. Milwaukee and Washington. Misiorowski against Irvin. Washington is a pretty decent sized home dog here when they open. Nothing notable weather-wise. Supposed to be mid 60s roughly. Misiorowski, of course, doing what he does, getting a ton of strikeouts, pitching decently overall, not lights out as far as runs are concerned, but getting a ton of strikeouts. And Irvin had been bad. I think I gave one of his strikeout props when I expected him to get hit anyway, which cashed. He's off a great shutout start, 9 strikeouts. Before that, of course, he had been vulnerable. Milwaukee, they've now won 3 of 4, 2 13-run wins at home. And Washington won 4 of 6 on their trip. They won 2 of 3 at Mets in the last series. So both these, the teams overall have some life to them. These were the two things I did take shots with. Well, I did take a shot with Misiorowski over 6.5 strikeouts at like minus 135 or so. Maybe that's a bit of a sucker play. I mean, obviously he deals. Is this a game where he is, not likely to have that happen? Maybe. I don't know. I was also leaning under 17.5 outs from as well. Of course, he a lot of times has awesome starts where he doesn't go deep because he gets a lot of strikeouts and sometimes gives up walks. But that's what I was thinking. And as far as the full game is concerned, it's so iffy to take a shot with Irvin, but at like plus 135, for me, it would have been Washington or nothing. So I did make a small bet on Misiorowski over 6.5 strikeouts, like minus 135. Didn't bet it, but leaning Misiorowski under 17.5 outs at like minus 120 or so. And it would be, free bet on the side would be Washington or nothing. Let's see where the line is moved, and then we'll go to the comment section. Let's see what we got here. Yeah. As far as the side is concerned, literally no movement at all from opening to now at Chris. Bouncing, sure, but an actual wow, it actually kind of bounced a lot. Look at this. Yeah. It opened at like minus 153 for Milwaukee, got all the way up to 167 twice. And then right around the 8:30 a.m. time, which is when a lot of like the sharper money comes in, went back down the other way and then later got all the way down to plus 127, minus 144, and then came back up towards Milwaukee. So overall, it's right where it opened. I guess I would have to think, Washington or nothing at the line. And as far as the total is concerned, let's look at it. As far as the total is concerned, yeah, almost no movement. A teeny move to the over from opening. Almost no movement. And again, this also bounced around quite significantly. Got dropped to 7.5 at one point at Chris, and now back up to 8. So let's see what people in the comment section. AM liking the over in this one. Okay, the later movement was clearly towards the over. I don't necessarily disagree with that. Mizurowski, even when he's good, usually gives up a few. If Irvin, his last start was fluky, then he'll get tagged a little bit. Pass for me, except for Mizurowski over strikeouts, which might have been a foolish thing to do, but if so, they trapped me. All right, next game on the card: Baltimore and the Yanks. Cade Povich against Warren. Baltimore definitely been playing decently. Bats coming to life. And the Yankees, though, of course, great. They won 7 of 9 on their road trip, although they lost their last one 3-zip at Texas, and now they're back home. Cade Povich is back up from the minors for Baltimore. He got a lot of strikeouts down there. It also gave him some home runs. And now he's going up against a lineup that can be good. Nothing really notable weather-wise, low 60s, and Warren has been excellent and consistent so far this year. Yankees opened as a big favorite. Total was 8.5, juice to the over. Let's see where that line moved. I'm not sure if I don't really have any opinion on this one. Okay, wow, look at that. A big market move towards the Yankees. Look at that. About more than a 20-cent move at Chris. Let's see where that let's see when that happened. All right, yeah, okay. So I'm looking at last night, and then by the morning, yep, it happened at the 8:30 time. Yep, there you go. Couple of first big hit was at 8:30, and then hit up a few more times, bounced around, and now it's at minus 190. So very likely some sharp people like the Yankees at least at minus 174 or so. And there was some early money came in on Baltimore. Let's look at the total. Total. Almost nothing, right? Still 8.5, juice to the over. Almost no movement on the total, but a clear 20-cent move towards the Yankees, and at the right time. JM Dewigger likes the over here. Daniel Hernandez likes the over, and Daniel Hernandez likes the Brewers money line. The Nationals bullpen is awful. Yeah, it certainly is. So maybe the Brewers just maybe the Nats' first 5 is, I don't know what to make of that game, but yeah, it's a little bit tough to take Milwaukee as a big road favorite there, coming off the games that they came off of. So as far as the side is concerned, definitely a pass for me. All right, so the Baltimore game, yeah, clear market move towards the Yankees. Daniel Hernandez and JM Dewigger like an over 8.5. That one makes me nervous too. I don't even know what I would think if I was offered a free play on the total. I mean, Warren has been excellent and good, and Povich, a lot of Ks, gave up home runs, but he has, major league experience where he was good. Yankee Stadium can be a bit run suppressing, surprisingly so. So I hope you guys catch. It's going to be a pass for me. Next game on the card: Houston and Boston. First time a major league starter here. Bennett for Boston going up against Burrows, who overall this year has been good. Has been good. Gets strikeouts. He's not been good overall on the year in general. He's given up runs, but he's not going super shallow, and he does get strikeouts. Boston, Houston split a doubleheader at Baltimore yesterday. Boston returning from a 6-game trip. They split that trip, but they lost their last 2. They got only 1 run total in that one. And Bennett started for Boston, had great results in the minors. He's one of these guys who gets strikeouts, but not overwhelmingly. He gets fewer than 1 strikeout per inning. Doesn't have huge strikeout stuff, but he gets a lot of soft contact and very impressive overall. His 5 starts in AAA this year were great. Doesn't give up walks. This guy could be good in the majors here. Yeah, I was thinking that, and again, nothing noteworthy as far as weather is concerned here. Burrow's a bit of a question mark. I was thinking his over strikeout prop at 5.5 at plus 140 was maybe worth a shot. I don't know why it should be that big of a dog line there. And a slight lean to him over 15.5 outs as well at minus 113, even though, in general, he has not been good overall. Will Boston pick it up offensively after the last two games? Not exactly sure. And Bennett, the jury's out. It's tough to back a guy in his first major league start, but he looks composed and he definitely has a nice pitching profile to have success in the majors. We'll see. We'll see how things shake out for him. I guess I would also have a slight lean to the under at 9.5, although Burrows again is a very questionable guy to have starting if you lean under something. All right, let's see where this line has moved. Yep, the small move towards Boston. Opened at about minus 108. Got all the way up to 125 and then dropped back down a little bit to Houston. That makes sense. People expect. I'm definitely a long-term, I think, a significant starting pitching edge for Boston. Not exactly sure what the expected pitching edge would be here. And the total, 9.5 isn't there anymore. 9.5 to the under, minus 120. I like that a bit. Now it's dropped down to 9. So almost a half run move to the under, which makes sense. And then let's see what people in the comments section have to say. JAM Sports. I also endorse I don't know which game he's talking about there. Mark A. Mann likes Houston first 5. Let's see. And Spoonsbet says rough draw your first start as a lefty. Yeah. And just in general, some guys come in and their first start in the majors is lights out. It's just very much an uncertainty there. It's very hard to predict how a guy is going to. Let's see. It's just Jim Dewigger, Pete. Okay, all right, I got it. Okay, let's see. Spoonsbets is on the Astros. I can understand it. I certainly can understand it. Okay. Next, and I would have a small lean to Burrow. Yeah, you know what? I'll make both of those official, recommendations. Burrow's over 5.5 strikeouts, plus 140, over 15.5 outs at minus 113. They're iffy, but yeah, I like them both. All right, now let's move on. Philly and Miami. Wheeler against Perez. Wheeler, of course, came back from injury. His first start was okay. It was short. Gave up a couple runs, but he got strikeouts. And Perez is what he always is. Not great, but not too bad. Does get strikeouts. And Philly, of course, has won 3 in a row, all at home, since switching to Don Mattingly as manager. And I shouted it out last video. I'll shout it out again. Shout out to anyone who ever owned a Mattingly 84 Don Russ rookie card. And double shout out to anyone who still owns a Mattingly 84 Don Russ rookie card. Philly, at some point, the fire that has been lit under them for Mattingly being the manager is going to, die down. When will that die down? Not exactly sure. Miami's no great shakes. They're back now from a West Coast trip. They won 2 of their last 2 at the Dodgers. They split that trip. So Miami's all right. Miami's a small home dog here. And I took a small shot with Perez over 15.5 outs at minus 110. He can definitely get hit. He can definitely have excellent starts that are short because of his strikeouts and walk issues. But statistically, I thought that over 15.5 outs minus 110 was worth a shot with Perez, and I took that one. His strikeouts prop is also low, but Philly can be a little hard to strike out. And again, they're, proceed with caution with Philly going forward because they have turned such a significant corner since Mattingly has become the manager. And the only bet I made was Perez over 15.5 outs at minus 110. Let's see what the market. I'm very curious to see what, because Philly opened as kind of a decent sized favorite. Miami, I think it was plus 112 at Chris. And yep, there you go. Now it's about a 15-cent move in favor of Miami, which is, what I would have expected. I kind of thought, like, why would you not want, I know Philly is playing a lot better now, and Miami is back home off a trip. And, Perez can be good, but Wheeler can be good. But I would have taken Miami. I didn't, but I would have taken plus 113. And there's obviously been a 15-cent market move in favor of Miami. And I'm looking at this, yeah. And the first moves were dropped it all the way down to plus 106 for Miami. Then got bet all the way back up to like plus 120 for Miami. And then right at that like 8 o'clock, 8:30 point, dropped back down to plus 100 for Miami. So, yeah, I think the sharp money here clearly on Miami. I don't disagree with it, although I don't think I'm going to tail it. Let's see. AM likes the under 8.5 at minus 125. That's, what I was thinking as well. Let me see. The first line I saw was 8, though. So AM might have gotten a good number there. And now it's, very nice, AM. Because now it's even lower than where it opened. Oh, now it's 7.5 at Chris. So AM got 8.5. Very nice job there. Opened at 8, and now it has dropped down to 7.5 juice to the over at Chris, which is also what I was thinking. Vague lean to the under, vague lean to Miami, and the bet that I made was Perez over 15.5 outs. All right, let's look at the comments section. 9 Legacy like Marlins money line. Let's see. All right, and then next game on the card is San Francisco and Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, a modest favorite when they open. This is Robbie Ray against McClanahan, Ray's been very good so far this year, less so on the road, of course, which is what you would expect. McClanahan, of course, coming back from injury from Tommy John surgery, and it's not exactly clear what to expect from him going forward. Before he got injured, he got a lot of strikeouts. He was awesome. He came back, and he had been pretty iffy, but then his last start was great, short, a lot of strikeouts, and more reminiscent of what we remember from him before he got injured. So not exactly sure what to expect from him here. San Francisco just got swept at Philly. Okay, but that was right after the Mattingly managerial change. Tampa Bay had won 6 in a row. Then they lost their last game at Cleveland, and now they're back home. So what's going to happen with McClanahan here? Not exactly sure. And just total pass for me as far as this one is concerned. I wouldn't really want to bet on Tampa Bay at the line against San Francisco, and question marks with McClanahan and Ray. They both should be all right, but just the whole game is a complete pass for me. I didn't do a deep dive on this one, but complete pass for me. Let's see what the market can tell us. All right, about a 5-cent move towards Tampa Bay. When did that move happen? Yep. There you go. Yep. It was the early one. Tampa Bay's probably the side here. Tampa Bay probably is the side here, just based on the way the market is going. Let's look at the total. Everyone, shout out what you think here. The total is right now literally exactly where it was when it opened. 7.5, slightly juiced to the over. I think Tampa Bay might be the play here. You know what? I'll bet it, and I'll make that a wait, let me see. Let me first look at the comment section. Yep, Mark A. Mann likes Tampa Bay, minus 132. AM liking the under, 7.5. I don't trust either lineup to hit left-handed pitchers, 2 quality pitchers, too. Yes, I agree with that. I would still rate McClanahan a quality pitcher, although definitely keeping an eye out for how he continues. Shout out Gorky! Goracle. Shout out Gorky. You know what? Yeah. It's heading up there. What line is available right now for Tampa Bay? Yeah, minus 1. There's a 137 there. 140s most other places. Looks like the bigger, it looks like the majority of the weight of the bets are also on San Francisco by a huge margin. But the line has moved slightly in Tampa Bay's favor, and at the time where the limits were pretty telling, I think Tampa Bay. I'll do a market read here. And I'll say Tampa Bay minus 137. And I'll bet that. I'll back it up. Tampa Bay minus 137. Probably a good play. I'll take it. Minus 137. It's tough. Tough to fade the Giants off of off of that series. Off a sweep with Ray going as a dog. But I'll take a shot with Tampa Bay. All right. Next game on the card. Toronto, Minnesota. Corbin and Woods Richardson. Corbin, of course, not too bad in short appearances so far this year. Woods Richardson really struggling of late, including one start at Toronto, where he got hit hard. And, I did take a shot with Woods Richardson under 3.5 strikeouts, even at a huge favorite line of minus 170 or whatever. I don't know where it is right now. Maybe I'll check at Penny to see where it is. But, Woods Richardson really struggling of late. Minnesota won yesterday. 7-1. For that, though, Toronto had been winning and Minnesota not winning. And I also took a shot with Woods Richardson over 4.5 hits at like minus 150. Not exactly sure why the market is expecting him to be better than he has been recently. Of course, that could happen, but he's struggling in a major way, I think. And Toronto is a legitimate little lineup there. I'm just going to quickly check. I think our pace is okay here. I'm going to quickly check to see what the current odds are here at Pinnacle for this game. Is this? There we go. Just very curious to see what they would be given. Yeah, maybe Woods Richardson will come back and out of nowhere have a surprisingly good start. Yeah. All right. So Pinnacle has minus 159 for Richardson, under 3.5 strikeouts, and over 4.5 hits, minus 148. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. Let's look at the market here. Then we'll go to the comment section, and then we'll move on. Woods Richardson. There we go. Yeah. Okay. No real market movement. Right where it was as far as the money is concerned, as far as the money lines are concerned from when it opened. Everyone shout out what you like in the comments section. Yeah, and some weird stuff early in the morning. One clear hit to towards Minnesota. Yeah, two clear hits towards Minnesota. All right. Maybe maybe we're just thinking Corbin's a fraud, or Woods Richardson's going to be better than expected. What can I say? I took 2 shots with Woods Richardson props to not be that great. Shout out to Nuke Worker. Nuke, no, we did not talk NHL yet. And Gorgle giving out a UFL, Houston Gamblers money line plus 140. I will look at that. All right. So interesting there. Let's quickly glance at the total, and then total, no real movement there. All right. We'll see how Woods Richardson winds up doing. And then, and also his earned run prop at 2.5, just minus 117. Next game on the card, Dodgers in St. Louis. Sheehan and Liberatore. Sheehan, getting better. Last start was really good. Best of the year, got 10 strikeouts. Liberatore, high volatility, 3 excellent starts, 3 bad ones. He's off a bad one. No real weather stuff here. St. Louis was a huge home dog, very big home dog when it opened. And the Dodgers have not been good recently. They lost their last 2 at home to Miami, and just 5-7 over their last 12. Now, I cherry-picked that endpoint, of course, but still, Dodgers just very mediocre for a couple of weeks now. St. Louis coming back off of a 4-game sweep at Pittsburgh. They won it. They won that one. And, I definitely did not bet this one, but might be one of those things where it's just like scary to bet the big dog, but at the line, got to be St. Louis or nothing, right? Let's see what the line is saying here. With the movement at BetCris. Yeah, a 10-cent move towards St. Louis. Nothing crazy, but a clear one. That's what I was thinking. How can St. Louis be that big of a dog? Even though overall Dodgers much better starter, I guess. But it's a big line. Didn't touch it though. And let's see what has happened to the total, if anything. Almost nothing. Almost no movement on the total. See if there was any early. Nah. Well, let's see. Yeah, well, okay. Looks like some stuff got hit to the under when what I would expect that stuff to come, and then came back at like 2:00 to the over. All right, so someone hit it pretty big at like 8:30 to the under, and then someone made it come back at about 2 p.m. to the over. That makes me I don't know. That makes me lean under a little bit here. To be perfectly honest with you. Let's see what people in the comment section have to say. Let's see. AM liking. Okay. Oh, Justin McKelvey. Great to see you in the comment section, baby. Well, the NBA playoffs, they've been great, haven't they? What do I think about tonight's games? I can't even remember. There was one. I can't remember what freaking games they are, but there's only one game where I have something that I'm doing. All right. Shout out Justin McKelvey and Mark A. Mann. Yeah, AM says, I think both pitchers here deal. I just can't trust this bad now tax St. Louis bullpen. Otherwise, I would love this under. Well, someone, when the limits expanded at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time, liked the under, despite all that AM, and I would vaguely agree with it. Maybe lean first half under. Total pass for me, though. Let's move on. Atlanta, Colorado. Grant Holmes against Quintana. Atlanta's been playing well, winning. Colorado, they're back from a six-game trip. They won 4 of those. I gave a few of those. We've been talking about Colorado. I gave them on Wednesday as not a huge dog, but as a small dog. Colorado's a nice little team right now. The lineup not that bad. Bullpen not too bad, and they're still getting dog lines. And look at this. Here you go again. Now, Quintana, his last start at the Mets was excellent, but he got hit in his one home start this year, and not sure what we should expect from here against that Atlanta lineup that can hit. It's not going to be, it's going to be about 60 degrees here, so not great hitting weather, but Atlanta, the real lineup right there. And I'm not sure what Quintana has. Grant Holmes, he's made one appearance at Coors in his career, and he did get hit, although he got a lot of strikeouts there. So there's no way I can take Atlanta at this line. Minus 190 or whatever. Just cannot do it. Can't take the over. I haven't seen any. I didn't do a deep dive into this one, but didn't see anything really that I'm liking. And even like Atlanta first 3 or first 5. Yeah, they should be a big favorite, but not as big of a favorite as they are. Just can't pull the trigger on the lines at that price. Let's see where the market has moved. If it's moved. Let's see. Let's look at Chris. Oh, wow. A big move to Colorado, which, yeah, I mean, it would have been Colorado or nothing for me, but it's just, Quintana starting at home. But wow, more than 20-cent move in favor of Colorado, which makes sense. I would probably be thinking about a live bet on Colorado after the starters are out if Colorado's down and Quintana does get hit. Because, again, they do have a nice little lineup there. So that's what I was thinking. I was thinking live bet Colorado after Quintana's out if he gets hit and Atlanta's up a decent amount. That's what I was thinking. But someone already hit Colorado, just full game money line before any of that happened, right? And but it's pretty interesting though because it didn't. Maybe some people are out because that line this was late movement. This was not early morning movement. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe it was. Yeah, I'm just seeing different. All right. Yeah. Yeah, there was some early warning. All right, we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. Obviously, Colorado has been way too big of a dog multiple times this year. I've been on them a bunch of times. I'm not on them here, and the line has moved in their favor significantly. Total, almost nothing on the total. Although there was pretty, 10.5, got up to 11, down to 10.5. So some pretty big margin bouncing around here. But as of right now, it's sitting right where it opened. All right, let's see if anyone has anything to say about this one, and then we'll move on. Jerry Davis, I bet Atlanta under 6 at plus 125. Tasmanian Devil, baby. Atlanta, Colorado, AM says probably a great candidate for a live under. I see runs early, and then it just dies. Yes, another great read. Excellent, AM. Yes, Mark A. Mann likes over 10.5, but I agree. If this one goes over, it's probably because it's early. Holmes and Quintana gets hit, and then it flames out late. Yeah. I'd be looking at a live bet on the under, like AM is saying, if it's high scoring early, and also a live bet on Colorado if Quintana gets hit and they're down early. All right, next game on the card, Mets and the Angels. I have no clue here. You guys tell me what you think. 2 terrible teams and 2, starting pitchers with, possible potential, but who knows what we're really going to get from them. This is a total pass for me. Everywhere I look in this game, I have, just like don't know what to think and don't know how to read it. The Angels opened as a small home dog. Total was 9. Christian Scott against Walbert Urena. Christian Scott starting for the Mets. He was okay in the minors, but not great. He was a Mets prospect for a while, and then he got injured, and now he's coming back, and they're hoping that he's going to be a part of their plans, but it's not clear, if he's going to be able to, stop giving up home runs. And then you got Urena on the other side, who's a classic guy who throws 100 miles an hour but has walks issues. And you look at his appearances this year. Last appearances, Casey was bad, but before that, he had a good one at home, got a lot of strikeouts. So which Urena are we going to see here? I have no clue. I guess I'd say probably more likely not to see a good version of him. Christian Scott, I have no clue. He had one tiny appearance, I think, in the majors this year, had 5 walks. In the minors, he was way up and down, so I have no clue what to think of him. And then but I'm not going to take the Angels because overall, as bad as the Mets are right now, I'd probably rate the Angels a teeny bit worse. So total pass for me. And let's look at the comments section. Make sure we're making a crisp, brisk pace here. And yeah, as far as the money line is concerned, there you go. I said I have absolutely no opinion on this one, and it is literally exactly where it opened at Chris. Open at minus 120 plus 106. Right now, minus 120 plus 106. Some tiny bouncing around, but nothing right where it opened right now. Let's see as far as the total is concerned. And yeah, a very, very small move, very small move to the under, I guess. But all right, total pass for me. See if anyone in the comments section, New Quirker says free bet. I would never bet the Mets. I'm off this, but free bet. I would never bet the Angels either. Although Yankee JJ 1989 would. He likes Angels money line. Jerry Davis rested Angels against Mets terrible offense. Give me plus money on Angels. Sure, I guess plus money. Yeah, I have no idea. I hope you all cash if that's possible. And AM says fact books are giving Angels at home for plus money. I'd lean Mets here. All right. And I would not bet this game at all. But I hope you all cash if possible. Next game on the card, White Sox and San Diego. San Diego is a decent-sized home favorite here. Schultz against Marquez. White Sox have been decent lately. Now they head on the road. The Padres played the Mexico City games, and they lost 2 of 3 to the Cubs. And we got Schultz against Marquez. Schultz, of course, is one of those 6'10" guys. And in case you don't know about those guys, they can be very, very crafty. But, of course, their mechanics have to be down. Otherwise, they give up. They have a lot of walks, and that is exactly who Schultz is. He's been decent so far, getting strikeouts, but he has a walks issue. And then Marquez, alternating shutout starts with 4-run starts. His last one was a 4-run start, but it was at Mexico City. So that's definitely forgivable there. And, yeah, I would be leaning Schultz. I took a shot with Schultz over 15.5 outs at plus 130. He could be gone early, but at that line, I took it. And I took a small shot with Schultz over 4.5 strikeouts at plus 105 as well. Small plus money there and pretty big plus money on his outs prop. Who knows what's going to happen with him, but just basically playing the numbers there, So I took both of those. San Diego is a decent sized home favorite. Marquez, I think, should be good, should be okay. More likely than not to have something closer to his shutout starts than his 4-run starts. Let's look at what happened here at Chris, if anything. Yeah, well, yeah, almost nothing. An extremely teeny move to the White Sox, but that was due to an 8-cent move to the White Sox that came in about 20 minutes ago. So there you go. And let's look at the tie. Yeah, there was okay. See, let's glance. Let's see when this stuff happened. All right, but wow, okay. So the big 8:30 Eastern time move was like a 13-cent move to San Diego. That's pretty telling. And then it came all the way back down towards the White Sox. Big move was recently. So, all right. I have no real opinion on the side, although, it would be at the line, White Sox or nothing, and first 5, it would be White Sox or nothing just because of the big dog line. And then the total, let's see. All right, we got to pick up the pace a little bit here because we do have playoff stuff. Yeah, all right. Now it's up to 8.5. All right, so that's a pass for me. We'll look at the comments. Mark A. Mann likes White Sox first 5. Jerry Davis, Sox first 5. Schultz keeps Padres down. And Murakami and Montgomery get to Marquez. Yeah, just my 2 cents pound. I mean, I vaguely agree with that. That's why I took I definitely agree with that. I didn't take maybe I'll take it later, but I didn't bet the Sox first 5. A little bit worried about Marquez being lights out for 5 innings. But I did take Schultz outs and strikeouts prop over, both at plus money. All right, next game on the card, Cleveland and the A's. Cantillo against Ginn. The A's, a small home favorite. Cleveland got a win in their last game, but they had lost 4 in a row before that, not hitting. A's got 2 or 3 from KC overall, playing pretty decently. I took a shot with Cantillo over 4.5 hits at like minus 120 a little bit. Again, Sacramento has some, should be a low 80s here, right around 80. And, Sacramento can hit a little bit. I guess I'd be maybe leaning Sacramento at the A's at minus 110 or minus 115 or so. I didn't bet that. Just took the Cantillo over 4.5 hits prop. Let's see where this line is moved. Oh boy. Okay. Something I missed here then, because the Cleveland is now the favorite. Got all the way up to minus 120 for Cleveland, plus 106 for the A's, then dropped back down 4 cents towards the A's. I'll have to check the lineups. That's probably why that was at about 10 o'clock. That move happened at like 10:30. There you go. Big move. in that direction. Okay, I'll have to check the lineups to see what happened there. But Cleveland the favorite now. There you go. A's are the dog. A's open at about minus 113 or so, and now Cleveland is minus 115, plus 102. All right. Glad I didn't take any money lines there. Hopefully it's not because Cantillo comes in and throws a no-hitter. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, okay, so no move on the total at all. Drop down to 9 a little bit, juice the over, and then back up to 9. So no move on the total, just a big full game money line move towards Cleveland. Let's see what people have to say. Jerry Davis likes A's on the under. AM says like the under, but can't trust Yin not to get blown up. Absolutely agree with that. Absolutely agree with that. I just took the one pitching prop with Cantillo. And then the next game on the card is the last MLB game. Then we'll get into playoffs. And this is one KC, Seattle, Ragans, and Woo. Didn't have time to look at it at all. You know, Seattle, of course, is playing better. I didn't need to see what happened recently to know that Seattle is definitely starting to put it together. And how much does that mean? And will there be betting value going forward with them? Not exactly sure, but I just did not look at this game at all. So we'll just blaze through it to see if there's, oh, wow, wait a minute. Look at that. Yeah, there was a 10-cent move towards 11, 12-cent move towards KC. Okay. I guess that doesn't surprise me a huge amount. Pretty big sized dog to start things off. And the total also has, very well, about a 5-cent move to the under. You know, both starting pitchers, obviously, in general, good pedigrees. Total pass for me. Jerry Davis leans over the low total at 7. And that's it for MLB. All right, now let's move on. Here we go. Playoffs. We got 3 NBA playoff games, 2 NHL playoff. Oh, no, 3 NBA NHL playoff games. Right. All right. We're going to try to keep risk race and get into all of it. Detroit and Orlando. Man, I have had an okay read on this series. I did take Detroit first half -1 in that first half where they didn't get it. You know, Detroit won the last game, the first game of the series that has gotten into the 220s in scoring. And, you know, so is this going to go back to tough D? Not exactly sure. And we talked about that. Remember that on Wednesday? I was like, it's an elimination game here for Detroit. So they pride themselves on defense, but they're about to get fucking eliminated. Maybe they're going to change something up. And I was like, this might be a higher scoring game. And it was the highest scoring game of the series. Now, you know, and Orlando, you know, no Wagner for the second straight game. Oh man, I'm thinking probably this game goes back to tough D, and I'm thinking maybe Detroit gets it again and ties it up, right? Maybe Detroit gets it again and ties it up. Tell me what you think in the comment section. Let's look at as far as the side is concerned, really nothing. It you know, bounced around, you know, opened at 3.5, dropped to 3, then back to 3, back to 4, then down to 3.5, and then up to 4, and then back to 3.5 again. So bouncing around, and right now it is exactly where it is when it opened, and the total is also almost, well, all right, yeah, I guess a point lower. Opened around 211, up, but again bouncing around 209.5, 211.5, back down, right up to 210. I don't have any numbers that I can quote here. I don't know, man. I'm thinking that that Detroit first half might be an okay play here. What do you think? You guys have had a great read on this one. Gorky gave Orlando money line as a dog a few times when they came out and got it, and Detroit did not back when other people might have been expecting them to. What do you think is going to happen here? I'm thinking maybe Detroit pulls this one out and gets a win and gets maybe the first half as well. What do you think? Tell me. All right, you know what? I'm gonna take it. Detroit first half money line -138. I think Detroit probably gets this. Tell me what you think. Let me find my notes. Yeah, Detroit first half money line -138. I'm gonna bet that and make an official recommendation. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? Jerry Davis says Pete Magic keeps cashing. How can I not take 4 points? Yeah. Wager Detective, shout out. Books wanting Pistons better to line up. That's a comment from AM. Yep. Wager Detective posting great stuff. Look at this. All right. Okay. I'm gonna pass. I mean, sorry. I'm gonna take a shot with Detroit first half -138 money line. We'll see how it shakes out. I think Detroit probably got something from winning their last game. We'll see though. Detroit first half money line, minus 138 or minus 140. Next game on the card, Cleveland and Toronto. Now, this series, of course, Toronto smashed Cleveland with defensive adjustments when the last two games at home, right? Then they went to Cleveland, and Cleveland got the win, and it was a higher scoring game, which I did have. I had the Cleveland at the first half over, Cleveland first half team total over. Now Cleveland's up 3-2, and they're going into Toronto. Toronto's getting 4. And, this is another one, Brandon Ingram, I think, is questionable here. Scotty Barnes a little bit banged up for Toronto. And I was thinking, I don't know. I was thinking this probably is going to go back to a more, defensive style, but I'm not sure if Toronto's going to be able to get it done. And I was thinking about the Raps team total under, full game and first half. Tell me what you think of that while we glance at the comments section. Where is it? All right, now it's up to 4.5. Yep. It opened to 3.5, and now it's up to 4.5 for Cleveland. And the total, where are we? Damn it. The total is, down a little bit. Oh, no, not well. It opened at 219. Yeah, it's right at 219 there. So it's bounced around. And, yeah, seems like, You know what I think? I think the Raps first half team total, it's just a full game team total under for the Raps, 107.5 minus 110. I think that's probably worth an okay shot. I'll make that. I'll bet it. I'll make that official recommendation. Raps team total under full game, 107.5 minus 110. This could get really defense oriented. Yankee JJ 1989 likes under 219. I like that one. Jerry Davis, Raps team total under is my lean. I agree. And that is an official, I'm going to bet it, and I will officially recommend it. Raps team total under 107.5, although it could easily lose, but we'll see how it turns out. And the last game on the card, tell us what you think. Lakers and Houston. Lakers up 3-2, but Houston has won their last 2. Durant, I'm assuming, is going to be still out, and the young guys, they're tough, they're gritty, they're getting it done. When they were a 4-point dog before, I was like, this is a young, gritty, tough team. It would definitely be Houston or nothing. And I didn't even count that lean in my official leans from the last show. But Houston's a tough, gritty team. Reeves came back from the Lakers, didn't play great. Maybe he'll improve here. And now, the Lakers are the dogs. So when you have a tough, gritty team, you like to take them as a dog. When they're a favorite, maybe not. Very low total here. And I'm just going to have to pass on the whole thing. Couldn't fade the Lakers getting points. Couldn't fade Houston. It's probably another under, but it's just such a super low total. Let's look at where these lines have moved, if they've moved at all. Yep, Houston's about 4. Bounced around the 4, but nothing too huge or noteworthy. And but yeah, the total that opened really low is now even lower. Now it's down to 205. So that's what I was thinking. 206.5. I was like, it's probably going to go under that, but I didn't bet it. OT is entirely possible, and total pass for me. I'm not going to touch that game in any way, shape, or form. Ranger Detective whoa. Wait, look at that. Ranger Detective minus 3.5. Wow. Ranger Detective's not even I make a lot of hard calls, but this one, fairly easy. Wow. Fairly easy call. And Yankee JJ 1989. Lean Rockets minus 3.5. There you go. Okay. Now I'll be looking at this. Shout out to Wager Detective. So great to hang out with you, man. Let's fucking do it. I'll make my way out to AC one way or another. We'll go to some stores, some restaurants, have a couple cheap beers. It was fun as hell to hang out with you, man. All right, now let's move on to NHL. 3 games on the NHL card. We'll do this pretty fast, but here we go. Tampa Bay, Montreal. Montreal up 3-2. In that last game, this game has been super tight. Every single game has been decided by 1 goal, and I saw that one. I was like, Montreal won it 3-2 as a plus 140 dog. People were asking me, how did you know? I was like, look, if Tampa Bay had been plus 140, I would have been all over Tampa Bay, but Montreal was plus 140. So I just didn't see it. And of course they won in another very close one. This seems like another coin flip game, but the lines are close, right? Montreal opened at like minus 104. We'll see. And Dobas is playing great for Montreal. They're just playing great. Kucherov and Braden Point not really playing that great for Tampa Bay. Maybe Montreal team total over. Let me see. Let me pull. Hopefully, we won't go too far over. We gotta close this out by 6 o'clock, but we're gonna do that. I just want to pull up the Pinnacle stuff so I can quote like absolutely current lines. Everyone in the comment section, tell me what you think of this one. Unfortunately, if it is a coin flip, we don't have even a small dog line that we can pull the trigger on. I think, although, yeah. Oh wow. Okay, so Montreal is now like a small dog. Looks like it's moved in Tampa Bay's favor. I didn't see that. All right, let's see. Let's see. Where are we? Yeah, look at that. Okay, yeah, it's all right. Still minus 104 at Chris, but plus money at other places. Small plus money at other places. Looks like Chris is. Oh wow! It looks like it just moved to just like 2 minutes ago. Now it is a dog at Chris. All right, so late money coming in on a little bit. Late money coming in on Tampa Bay, and the total. Total, where are we? What happened here? Let's see what happened with the total. Yeah, pretty much almost nothing. Almost no movement at all on the total. So the Montreal team total is 2.5 minus 134 to the over. That's tempting, man. That is tempting. I mean, it's been a very close, and not super high scoring game. Dobas playing great. You know what? I will take a shot with that. I'll make that an official play, and I'll bet it. Montreal team total over 2.5 minus 135 or so. It's 134 at Pinnacle. Again, that's iffy. Rem Most, Pete and Wage Attacker will never meet. We already met once, Rem Most. I'm just saying, I want to do it again. It was fun. It was just so rushed that you have fun, but then all right. Nuke Worker, Montreal have to win tonight. I bet they will. Line's gone against me, but okay. Jerry Davis likes Tampa first period. Sprinkle Hagel first goal. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Free play, I guess I'd put it on Montreal. Sure, as a tiny dog. And Montreal team total over 2.5 minus 135 official play. Let's move on. Next one, Buffalo and Boston. Buffalo's now up 3-2. Boston won game 5 on the road after a margin blowout home loss in game 4. And Boston, of course, what's going on with them? During the regular season, they were awesome at home, bad on the road. Me and Jimmy the Bag talked about that all the time, and we pulled triggers on them at home and faded them on the road. Now Buffalo's up 3-2 here. And I was thinking, Buffalo at least to score first, if not first period, money line as well. Buffalo coming off that loss. Now they're going into Boston. They're the better team, and I think they should get it done. So I do like Buffalo first period money line. I also like the first period under a little bit, and Buffalo to score first. So if the first period is 0-0, then the under wins, the first period pushes, and then I think Buffalo does score first. So those are 3 plays I'm liking. I don't have time to quote the lines right now, but Buffalo first period money line, Buffalo to score first, and the first period under. All right, wait a minute. Let me see. I do have it here. All right, let me see. Money line first period. All right, Buffalo first period minus 114, and the first period under 1.5 is minus 124. And I don't have a line on Buffalo to score first, though, but I do like that one. Boston, a very good team. They could win this one easily. But as far as the percentages are concerned, I like both of those. But we'll see. We'll see what happens here. Let's see. Anyone in the comments section has anyone that they're liking? Oh, Nuke Worker likes the Bruins full game. Okay. All right. Okay. I feel you, Nuke Worker. I feel you. All right, and let's see where this line has moved. We do have a few minutes. We'll talk about Vegas and Utah in a second. Not right now, though. And, yeah, there you go. Line has moved about 10 cents in Buffalo's favor at Chris. Opened at about minus 115. Now it's about minus 125. Boston is good, and they could win this. But I think Buffalo's better, and at the current lines, it's worth a shot. And total, yeah, about 5-cent move to the under. I was actually thinking maybe Boston team total under at plus money was something I was thinking about. But all right, let's move on. Last game on the card, Vegas, Utah. Vegas is now up 3-2. And of course, that last game, I gave the Utah team total over, cashed, although Vegas won. Vegas came back and got it. Vegas, impressive friggin' team. Utah, an impressive friggin' team too. And this one, I definitely like Utah first period, Utah to score first, and maybe Utah team total over as well. Vegas could win this one. Not exactly sure what to expect as far as the full game is concerned. I guess would be leaning over at 5.5 at like minus 121 or so. But plays that I do like are Utah first period money line, Utah to score first. And I'll have to think about this Utah team total over. Let me just quickly quote these money line first. Yeah, Utah first period is minus 106 the Pinnacle right now. Utah to score first. I just don't have a line on it. And their team total is 2.5 over minus 150, which I think is good. I like that one as well. Although it's a little bit, NHL playoffs, anything could happen. This could easily be a 1-zip and 2-1 game or something. Utah could easily win this one 2-1. Easily. But I think team total over 2.5 minus 150 is probably okay. Full game. Let's see. Other Nasty says Bruins smash. Okay. Yeah. So and then let's just quickly look and see where this line has moved, if at all. It's moved. Yeah. All right. About 8 cents in Utah's favor. Now it's 110 on both sides at Chris. Open with Vegas as a small favorite. And the total, this I'll be interested to see, has moved. Yeah, look at that. Okay. It's now up to 6 at Chris. It was 5.5, even 110 on both sides. Went up and up. First line I saw was 121, got up, 130, and now it's 6. So it looks like the total is definitely getting bet up. So, okay, that makes me feel better about the Utah team total over 2.5 at minus 150, even though they could easily win this one 2-zip, 2-1. They could win this one 1-zip. But we'll take the Utah team total over as well. If they win at 1-zip, it means Utah score first, cashes, first period pushes, and I'm fine with it. I guess. Although I'd rather cash all of them. All right, that does it for today's show. It was a great show. Shout out to everyone, man. Nuke Worker, Wager Detective, everyone in the comment section. So great to see you all. Swiggy Bats, everyone. Rem Most, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. We'll see you on Monday, baby.
It's easier to sleep in the black when you're losing your ass and feeling so. You know what to do. Tune in to Pop Sports Radio. Easier to sleep in the black. It's easier to sleep in the black. It's a roller coaster ride. You're gonna catch a bad beat. No problem, keep your head up and just bet the spreadsheet. It's easier to sleep in the black. It's easier to sleep in the black. All thanks to Jeff Slaughter. These shows have our backs. POD's always rolling, especially the stats. Easier to sleep in the black. It's easier to sleep in the black. We got Jimmy, Jose, Debbie and the fam, Dutch Wine Time, Spooner and OG Wham. So hit the like button. Don't say that you can't. If you know what's best, just put your money on tape.